Time to make a video, I guess. Alright, so the other day while I was completing some Momo talks and seeing all the bullshit my students go on a daily basis, a single thought crossed my mind. How hard would it actually be to fight these girls? Like, yeah, there's the obvious aspect of them having access to like a multitude of firearms and being able to tank shots point blank. But aside from that, they're pretty much ordinary people. So today I'm going to see if a regular person like me can survive the residents of Kivodos. Why? Yeah, good question. Okay, let's lay the groundwork real quick. On one fateful night, I go to sleep and suddenly wake up in the middle of Kivodos. And coincidentally, there's also a wanted poster of me floating around. Not that big of a wanted poster, but still tempting enough to go for. So now everyone pretty much knows my face and is willing to fight me on sight. Alright, now that that's done, let's recap what I'm up against and lay down the rules after. I am facing a bunch of schoolgirls ranging from 11 to 17 years old, with a few exceptions, all armed with a gun by their side. Their halo is, as far as I can tell, a built-in life vest that protects the user from all fatal damage, which would explain the resistance to gunshots and explosions. It is possible to break the halo, but that would require continuous heavy damage or specialized equipment, none of which I have. However, they can still suffer regular injuries like broken bones, cuts, and other stuff a regular human being can suffer. Now for the rules. Alright, 1. I am completely unarmed. The only weapons I have access to are my fist and my feet. 2. I'm not allowed to walk or run away from a fight. If I did that, then what's the point of the video then? 3. If I can get the student I'm fighting against into a weakened state, then I consider that a win. Like, I am definitely not going to be able to kill one of these bastards. And lastly, my performance will be judged on a scale of 0 to 10. 10 I'm thriving, 0 I'm dying. Also, this should come as no surprise, but beware of spoilers, especially for Chapter 3. I'm gonna do a quick summary of each student highlighting their strengths and weaknesses, and for the most part that's fine, but for some students that can be a bit difficult without delving into the story for context, so be warned. Now that the boring stuff is settled, let's get on with the video. Starting with... Hifumi is the most average girl you will find on Trinity. Aside from her incredible fangirlism over this one fat chicken that reminds me of the Behemoth mascot, her combat prowess is not too crazy, especially when her EX skill shows her stumbling around her bag for Pororo merch. If I can distract her enough by talking about Pororo and friends, then I would whack the gun out of her hand and fight her that way. I'ma give this one 8 out of 10, pretty low diff. I'm kinda confident on victory. Raised in the trenches of Arius and originally a spy sent to kill Seiya from the Tea Party, Azusa knows countless tactics and strategies that can easily subdue any normal opponent. Fighting her in any way is too much to handle. She is easy to manipulate with plushies, but I don't think that's gonna be enough to secure a win. 1 out of 10 if I can convince her with enough plushies for mercy. If not, then consider that a 0. Originally a part of the Justice Task Force, or JTF as I like to call it, but was moved due to failing grades. Koharu is easy to fluster and deems any lewd acts deserving of the death penalty, even if she is closet horny. I don't think stripping naked is gonna raise my chances of survival anytime soon. Worth a shot though. 3 out of 10. Why don't you put that fucking phone down, darling, so we could be alone now. Despite her looks and manners, Hanako is quite the crafty one. She was able to both figure out Azusa's origin and was able to pinpoint the main culprit behind the chaos of the Eden Treaty. She is also very aware of her position and power and can hide it with her explicit and foolish curiosities that basically let her fly under most people's radar. She is also incredibly horny, so I have to be vigilant and stay alert at all. I refounded the After School Sweets Club, and for the most part seems pretty simple. Loves hanging out with her friends, eating ice cream, having fun. Although I did find this one image of her and that scares me a bit. 6 out of 10, maybe proceed with caution. Yoshimi is like a loud little animal that is very easy to piss off, with her height complex and brash personality. Her EX skill shows her launching missile and yeah, no, I'm dead. Especially when you see how fun it is to tease her. Anyone who is able to move that fast without breaking a sweat is already enough to tell me she is bad news. She prefers power over speed, which is evident by her skills, and to be completely honest, she seems like the one that means the most business in the club. 1 out of 10. Natsu seems quite reserved, often rambling on about romance or rock in certain seasons, but equipped with both a shield and SMG. Come on, that's not even fair. She even heals on the battlefield. 2 out of 10. As an active member of the Vigilante Crew, Suzumi definitely knows how to navigate the battlefield. But she is the pacifist, often preferring to use flashbangs instead of actual lethal ammunition. I could take her, but I've also heard she has some Arius roots, and that might come in clutch for her. 3 out of 10, at least I know I'm still alive.
Yeah, what is this Diddy Blood doing on the calculator? Is blood Einstein? What is this Diddy Blood doing on the calculator? Is blood Epstein?
Reisa is an outgoing and happy-go-lucky girl. Okay, I'm gonna be completely honest, I don't know that much about Reisa. I'm sure one comment can explain all of her important traits, but all I know is that she has a shotgun. An automatic shotgun. 0 out of 10, I am a dead man. Ui spends most of her time inside in like stark secluded places. Oh, she's like me. I don't think she has enough physical strength to overpower me, but she also carries a sniper. That combo of being a sniper in the dark is definitely gonna be hard, but she seems to also be easily disoriented with light. 7 out of 10, bring me a flashlight and I should be good.
Read, nigga, read!
I was initially going to dismiss Shimiko as an easy dub, but then I actually found out she's packing heat, and she's also super strong. Yeah, definitely an eye-opening surprise. 2 out of 10. Serena is a very caring and clingy girl. I doubt she is willing to kill me, but I also don't want to know what's inside that syringe of hers. Capable of dispensing more than one kind of shot. What does that mean? 4 out of 10. Hana is very enthusiastic on helping people, but kinda sucks at making the situation get better. She has a chainsaw. She has a chainsaw. Okay, that's all you need to know. 0 out of 10.
And his name is John C.
Vice President of the JTF and obsessed with eating sweets. Asumi knows not to fool around when dealing with problems. She is capable of messing shit up if she's motivated enough. You know, like that time Makoto called her fat, so I'd rather not deal with that. 0 out of 10. The youngest member of the JTF that specializes in observing the environment. One look at that gun is enough to send me to the afterlife, so 1 out of 10. I don't know what it is about Ichika. She seems... anime has taught me anything is that if she ever opens her eyes, then that probably means I'm boned. 2 out of 10. Mari passionately wants to be a great sister in the future, and is definitely one of the nicest characters you will find in Blue Archive. She also rarely shoots her deagle, but regardless, she's able to tank like 3 of Azusa's explosive traps, with minimal damage by the way. And I also don't want to beat up a nun, it just feels bad. 6 out of 10, but I'm definitely gonna be leaving the regrets. The first time we encountered Hinata, I initially thought she was going to be more of a pushover given how humble she is, but then later she literally lifted a chunk of rubble by herself. 1 out of 10. I don't have much information on Sakurako, but it's kinda the same with Mari. She seems nice, I don't want to beat up the Sisterhood, but I am willing to bet that she is more than happy to whoop my ass if the situation comes. 2 out of 10. Okay, let's just get this over with as soon as possible. Nicknamed the Bronze of the Tea Party, she is unfazed by regular bullets, can take a good beating even when unarmed, exploded a wall open, fought off a horde of supernatural entities for God knows how long, can survive on a diet of roll cakes for weeks, and have you seen her EX skill? Zero out of 10. I don't even think there's gonna be a body left. Nagisa can definitely be a bit paranoid, and she doesn't handle stress too easily, with her stomach hurting in tense situations. So I could probably pressure her enough to weaken her defenses and secure a W. She's also part table. Have you tried fighting a table before? It's more difficult than you think. 3 out of 10, unless I have an axe to chop the table down. I don't think I've seen Seiya active all that much. She's definitely the most passive member of the Tea Party. She could try and persuade me like her encounter with Azusa, but she's also pretty willing to go into the battlefield and, she has also got some solid snake aspects. 4 out of 10. Who is this? I don't know who this is. Okay, so she's the leader of the Helmet Gang. She uses her gun like a bat. Not very lucky. I think I'm gonna take a wild guess and go with like 6 out of 10. I could probably win, but I could also get the cartel treatment given how she's the leader of a gang. So who knows? And with that, we've fought everyone in Trinity. I hope I didn't miss anyone important. Alright, time to tally the scores. Let's see that body count. Oh. That's... I don't think this was the greatest idea. I might need to revise the rules a bit.